This week, Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, drops in theaters, and next month you'll be able to watch it on Netflix. Now, I'm a big fan of the previous two Knives Out films where I just feel like Rian Johnson just has a good understanding of the whodunit genre, and he's bringing this kind of flashy, star-studded version of it, I guess, to Netflix with this film and the previous movie. And I would say with this movie, he's done it once again. It's consistently engaging, it holds your attention, it keeps you guessing, and it can just be very entertaining and funny along the way. To that idea of keeping you guessing, every time I felt like I was starting to piece together what was going on, there was always some big gigantic twist that created a new mystery. We're like, all right, how does that piece fit in with everything else? And wait a minute, what did that even mean? Where are we going now? And so it just kept reshaping the rules of the mystery, reframing everything that you thought you knew, and not just giving red herrings, but like having plot points themselves that you don't know how the piece fits, which even ties into much of what Craig's character is talking about all throughout the movie himself, where he feels like he's missing a piece and doesn't know what to do with what he does have in front of him. It also heavily leans into many of the tropes of whodunits and quite directly references whodunit books and things like that. And it plays around with that information and finds alternative solutions to things. It's entirely designed to be accessible for anyone, but it rewards having a depth of knowledge of the whodunit genre at the same time. Now, of course, with these movies, they always have a robust, fun cast. The real standout here actually is JoshOConnor, who is playing kind of this young priest who's trying to make up for his past. And he's just played with like such enthusiasm of this guy that's trying to do his best and trying to win people over, and is kind of put into this ridiculous situation. And you can see him like, yeah, trying to be positive, and then also being so irritated at the reality of the situation that he's in. He can be really funny, and then it pauses just to have these moments of drama from him where you kind of really see the frustration, the pain, the desperation of the situation that he's in. And his character is a real important counterbalance to a bunch of the kind of ideas being explored in the movie. This is a film that goes pretty heavily into faith versus skepticism. It is looking at corruption in the Catholic Church and how people use power and religion for selfish purposes. And his character, JoshOConnor's character, is designed to make it so that it's clear this is not meant as just a movie meant to tear down the Catholic Church and faith and be a polemic for atheism or something like that. He goes, no, here's a positive example. This is someone that understands grace, the gospel, and helping people. And here's a bunch of people over here that are using it incorrectly, and what toxic leaders can do and what the trickle down of that can be. Today's video is brought to you by HelloFresh. You may have heard of HelloFresh. They're the #1 meal kit in America, making home cooking easier with chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients delivered right to your front door. But this fall, they're serving up even more of what you love. They're bigger, healthier, and tastier. HelloFresh has doubled its menu. Now you can choose from 100 options each week. Feel great with an even healthier menu. This one's big for me because I watch what I eat pretty carefully. Choose from 15 plus high protein recipes each week with options like grass-fed ribeyes or lamb chops. HelloFresh now helps you eat greener with new veggie-packed recipes. This next one's my favorite. Get steak and seafood recipes delivered every week for no extra cost. Now with 3 times the seafood options. I'm a low-carb, high-protein kind of guy, so I love to hear that. I use HelloFresh, and you should too. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/SeanChandler10FM now to get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on the first box. New subscribers only. varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/SeanChandler10FM to get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. As always, the rest of the cast are also very lively and vibrant, where Josh Brolin is kind of playing the toxic, corrupt priest in this movie. He's so good at being this absolute jerk of a character, but at the same time, I think something very magnetic about him. Of course, Daniel Craig is so fun as this character. In some ways, maybe he's a little bit more abrasive this time because he is an atheist, a skeptic, and he's kind of given a platform multiple times to just kind of go off on religion and belief in God. So there's a couple times in the movie I was like, whoa, where's this movie going exactly? We're going really heavy on this. And then it finds a way to counterbalance that. Like I said, with the JoshOConnor character. And between the two of them, I think it has a pretty balanced exploration of where it's going with all of this. Glenn Close is another standout, but of course, she's always fantastic in pretty much everything that she does. It does try to bring in a bunch of political angles as well. There's in particular one character who is a failed politician, and it eventually kind of ties into some ideas of trying to combine religion and politics and corruption of power there. And you can see the connections that Rian Johnson was trying to make. But when you're already doing a murder mystery whodunit with a very large cast and exploring faith and skepticism and corruption in organized religion while also trying to represent grace at the same time, it just felt like trying to cram one too many highly charged ideas into a film that was already pretty stuffed full. And so it's both underdeveloped and it just feels like shoehorning in some modern day politics into something that where I just don't know that it organically flowed with everything else. And you're also watching a movie, what do they say? You're not supposed to talk about politics and religion. This movie just kind of goes, let's go for it. Let's just dive into the deep end and go all out on both of those. And so it's not as, I think, rewatchable as the previous two movies. It's darker, it's heavier, it's a little bit more confrontational, but it's equally compelling. The characters are just as lively. It keeps you invested in the movie, paying attention, and comes to a satisfying conclusion by the end. So I think that Rian Johnson has delivered another really good whodunit.